Social activist Arvind Kejriwal and his supporters were freed from makeshift jail in Outer Delhi. They were detained during a protest to demand resignation of Law Minister Salman Khurshid. They have alleged financial irregularities in the functioning of the trust run by Khurshid and his wife. After his release, Kejriwal said that he will continue to support the disabled people.
Kejriwal and his supporters are at Parliament Street after being released from Bhawana, and they're standing firm on their demand for the Law Minister's resignation. Kejriwal and his supporters threw slippers at Khurshid's poster as part of their protest against the alleged irregularities in trust funds controlled by the Law Minister and his family. Kejriwal had spent the night in Bhawana Stadium after being detained for marching towards the Prime Minister's residence with differently abled people.
जिस देश का कानून मंत्री अफसरों के फर्जी दस्तखत करना चालू कर दे, जिस देश का कानून मंत्री विकलांग लोगों का पैसा चोरी कर ले, क्या उसे 2 मिनट के लिए भी कानून मंत्री रहने का अधिकार है? तो अगर ये बाहर रह गए तो इन अफसरों को भी ये कुछ ना कुछ कर देंगे, ये अफसरों के ऊपर भी दबाव डालेंगे, ये सारे सबूत नष्ट कर देंगे। तो हम मांग करते हैं कि तुरंत सलमान खुर्शीद को और उनकी धर्मपत्नी को गिरफ्तार किया जाए।
The Law Minister has told CNN-IBN, and I quote him now, Mr. Kejriwal should know that there is rule of law in our country. He wants to play prosecutor, judge and executioner. We'll be happy to take him on not only on TV channels but in court. He will discover that it takes proof to score a point in court. Mobs and incited rabble-rousers cannot be allowed to oppress the country and destroy its morale. This is a test case for defeating the politics of blackmail and defamation. And here's something that could be even more embarrassing for the Congress leader.
The first allegation you said was that I gave wrong information to the ministry. Now, this very report is contradictory. On the one hand, this report, if you read it, says that when we approached the ministry said this trust is not under our aegis, therefore we can't give you any information. Then how do they know we gave wrong information to the ministry? If the ministry said they had nothing to do with us, then how did they know we have given wrong? So isn't there a disconnect there?
Yeah, and what about the utilization certificate? I mean, why did you not give utilization certificates?
Again, utilization certificate was given to the ministry. If the ministry said we have nothing to do with the trust, it stands to reason the ministry did not give the utilization certificate to the CAG's team, or this inspection team. That report very clearly says 3 times we tried to meet them in the office and we didn't meet them. So therefore, they didn't meet us. Therefore, they didn't get a utilization certificate from us. Now, what sense does that make? On the one hand, they said we didn't give it to them, but if they never met us, how could we have given it to them?
And what about the allegation of post-dated receipts for all this, ma'am?
You see, if in the ADIP scheme, in the way these camps run, first you have to have an assessment camp. Then you assess how many people need, say, the Jaipur foot or calipers, or what level of hearing aid, etc., etc. Whether the tricycle should be right-handed or left-handed or both. You have an assessment camp. You then buy the material, and then you have a distribution camp. So all the assessment camps are done earlier. So obviously the camp was done earlier. Yeah. And then we bought the material. But what they have not mentioned is, having done the first camp, there was a second camp. You see, they've only mentioned one camp. But it is necessary to have 2 camps.